Putting together a good CV certainly takes time and effort. And if you are going to be taking that time and effort, then you can just as well put together something that is going to get you the attention that you want when you are applying for roles. And one of the biggest favors you can do yourself is to take your CV out of generic and get it into specific, because the response rate on your CV will shoot through the roof immediately. So, how do you do that? Three simple ideas to implement immediately would be: number one, when you start getting into your career history, before you get into your list of responsibilities, give context of the company and the division and the area that you have worked in. So, for example, you might have worked for a large listed organization and the name is well known and pretty much everyone will know what they are about. But in that big company, you would have worked in a specific division or a specific section and have focused on very specific things. Now, once you give those 3 or 4 lines of context about what the company is about and then the area that you have worked in, all those responsibilities that you then give that follow that suddenly has context to it and has much more meaning than when you just put down a company name, a list of responsibilities, and all these responsibilities hang in the air. Even more so, when you are working for lesser known companies, medium sized or smaller companies, then the reader should not need to actually go and Google the company to see what business they are in and is that even relevant for the role that you are applying for, because then those responsibilities hang even more in the air. And the easier you make it for the reader to understand the context and to see why your CV is relevant, the better you will receive responses on your CV. The second thing you want to do is you want to bring your responsibilities down to your 8 or 10 key responsibilities. Never copy and paste company job descriptions. They are too broad, they are too generic and non-specific. And again, it's just words until it's got specifics to it. So you want to talk about those 8 or 10 key things that you focus on every day. You want to give numbers, percentages, quantities, team structures. Who did you report to? Who reported to you? Job titles of those individuals. If you work in, an environment that's got equipment, what equipment did you work with or work on? If it's an IT environment, what systems did you work on? Just saying an ERP system versus SAP or Oracle or whatever else you have worked on, you can see SAP and Oracle already has much more meaning than just ERP. And sometimes it would be very necessary for you to have that specific experience for a role because of what the employer prefers there. So take it out of that side of generic. And then the other thing you want to do, and this is something that I see the more senior people grow, the more popular it becomes, to use words like accomplished, extensive experience, industry leader. But again, without specifics and context, those words hang in the air. If you say accomplished, well, by whose judgment and in whose estimation? Whereas if you put down for me your key successes in the role, you have achieved this, you have contributed here, you've handled these projects, you have brought down costs, you have increased savings, you have improved maintenance times, you have brought down reporting times, whatever it is that's relevant to your role, those speak so loudly that you don't even need to tell me on your CV that you're accomplished, because the accomplished, I'm going to read over it and think, okay, I need to see some proof of this. But when you show me these key successes and key projects you've been involved in, I can read for myself that you are very accomplished at what you are doing and you know something about